Oh, what's going on, everyone? It's Adam Taylor back again with another video all about living in Maryland. Today we're on the road, we're jumping in and we're heading to Towson, Maryland to meet up with a good friend of mine, George Kennedy. George is going to help us out. We're going to do a tour of Towson, give you all the information you need to know before making a move here to Maryland. So stick around. We're getting started right now.
That old red shit.
All right, guys, so we are here in Towson. We're in the community of Stoneleigh, and I got my buddy George Kennedy here. He's gonna, take us through, show us the neighborhood, and show us the crown jewel of the neighborhood, as he just said, is the swimming pool here. So come on in, George.
Hey, guys.
All right, so tell us a little bit about Stoneleigh. You live here. What do you like about it? Pricing-wise. We'll take a stroll around the neighborhood, but give me your thoughts.
Well, obviously I'm biased because I live here, but Stoneleigh is probably the best neighborhood in Towson. Adam just said the crown jewel of the neighborhood is the Stoneleigh pool, which all residents have the opportunity to join. But really what's so wonderful about this neighborhood is the feel of it. It's a really tight-knit community, a lot of social events. This neighborhood was founded in 1922. There's about 530 houses, and more than half of those were built in the 20s, and then another batch in the 40s. And so what you have, no two houses look the same. They're all different. They're very unique and very charming, and it's just a wonderful neighborhood to live.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk around, take a few peek at a few houses. We're gonna go to some good spots to eat. We're gonna check out a few parks and so much more. So you gotta stick around all the way to the end because you never know what sort of trick we're gonna pull out of our hat here. So we're gonna take a little walk here around the neighborhood, show you some of the places. Fill us in, man. Tell us what's good and on things.
So most of Stoneleigh, like I said, was built in the 1920s. These houses range from the original house to many of them have been renovated, added on. Most of them have at least 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 or 3 bathrooms. And yeah, the charm with the renovations just make it a great place to live.
Now, what kind of renovations are people doing? Are they just rehabbing the whole house and keeping some of the original character? I mean, I'm looking here, like if you guys want to see this garage behind me. Look at the garage doors on that garage. I mean, it's beautiful. It's not something typically you would see in like a subdivision.
No,
right?
The typical subdivision addition, they just put a box on the back of a nice house. Most of what's done here is to maintain the character of the original house.
Yeah, I'm looking like this one right behind us here. That's got a slate roof on it. The one to our right here does. I mean, it's really nice.
You see a lot of slate roofs. I'd say most people do renovate their kitchens, update those in the bathrooms. Back in the 20s, people didn't use their basements like we do today, so a lot of people have dug out their basements and finished those.
Right.
But as you can see from walking around, the houses still typically look like 1920s house.
Yeah.
People have kept and maintained the charm and the character of these homes.
Right. Yeah, they're beautiful here, and it's really quiet. Now, to access Stoneleigh, you got to come in off of York Road, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so you're up towards the front section. Gets a little busy up near York Road, but back here, I mean, it's quiet, serene. You can hear the birds chirping. Life is good, right?
Look how beautiful these houses are.
Yeah. Yeah, let's show everyone. Like, you can see everything that we've got back here. So we'll keep walking through here, but some more. Ah, man. Never fails. But,
so we have two inside of the neighborhood, inside of Stoneleigh proper, we have the Stoneleigh pool and we have the elementary school. The elementary school houses about 700 students, K through 5. Quite a few of them live in the neighborhood, walk to school. My kids walk to the school every day, walk home by themselves. It's such a great community school, and it's one of the top schools in the county.
Beautiful. All right, so we'll drive around here, show you a little bit of the school, we'll show you a little bit more of the neighborhood, and then pick it back up at our next stop.
I am sick. I am sick.
All right, guys, look, we are here in Loch Reservoir, and you can see the reservoir off to the right here in the frame. And what's great about it is all the woods here, they've got trails all throughout them, and you're going to see hikers and mountain bikers. Even at times when I used to mountain bike a lot, I would see people with horses on some of the wider trails come through here. So it's a great spot to go to enjoy the outdoors. Very, very close here to Towson. I am sick. All right, look, we are here in one of my favorite spots, if not my favorite spot in Towson, Loch Reservoir. And what I love by it, or love about it rather, is the woods. Look at all the woods behind me. You can see right up over here, you've got a trail going up into the woods, and let's turn it around here just so you have a 360-degree view. You've got some kids down here by the water doing, feeding the seagulls, but this is just a great spot to go. I can remember growing up here, and when I used to mountain bike, it might even been this trail, as a matter of fact, like people would take not just bikes and hiking, they would have a horse walking up through here. So it's just a real beautiful spot to go if you like the outdoors. So I would highly recommend you check it out. All right, everyone, we ran over here to Rogers Forge, and behind me you've got Rogers Forge Elementary School, and George, otherwise known as GK, gave me the lowdown here and told me that's an awesome school, and just like in Stoneleigh, all the kids walk to school here. So the thing about Rogers Forge, it's a townhome community. And who would you say lives in here?
It's a ton of families, young families, a lot of first-time home buyers. And what we find is they get so attached to the neighborhood that they never end up moving. So a lot of people think this will be their starter home, and for many people it is. But generations of families end up staying here for the long term.
Now in here, you're gonna find, what, 3 to 4 bedroom townhomes, roughly 1,200 to what, about 1,800 square feet, 17,
Yes.
1,800 square
Sounds
feet.
about right.
And then sales price on something like this is going to be on the low end 280, and that's sort of for like almost like a rehab project, all the way up to $500,000 on something that's been fully renovated here. So what else is good about this neighborhood?
Well, we talked about the schools. We have Rogers Forge Elementary School here. Right next to it, which I'll show you in a minute, is Dunbarton Middle School. Also an excellent public school. Again, kids come from actually Stoneleigh and West Towson and this neighborhood, Rogers Forge, to Dunbarton Middle. So, having 2 schools that kids can walk to is just really awesome. But what's really neat about this neighborhood is there's about 1,700 houses, a little more than 1,700 houses, and the community feel. And any given evening in the spring or summer, you can walk down or drive down and you see people in their yards around a fire pit, hanging out with their neighbors. It's just a really, really nice community.
Yeah, that's one thing when we were driving in here, George mentioned to me. I thought that was really cool. The other thing that you're going to find in something like this is the size of the yards are much bigger than your traditional tract builder townhome lots. The yards here is what impressed me, both front and backyard. So in reality, you're getting like the size of a single family yard with a townhome here. And you can see, just look behind us here, this is what you're looking at. And then as we go on down here, we got the middle school that's, what are we, 200 yards away from the elementary school. And that's right over here in front of us. I'll swing it around here. So that's Dunbarton Middle School. How's that school rank?
I don't know the exact number, but all of my children have gone there, and it's an excellent school. Education-wise, all the teachers are excellent. The community's great.
Good stuff.
And in between these two schools, we have, I don't know how many, 6 or 8 athletic fields that are utilized by the schools as well as the local rec councils. So on any given day, you can see baseball, lacrosse,
check them
soccer.
all out right here. Everything's right in here. And like, it looks like to me, the community wraps completely around the schools. Would you say that's true?
It is true, for sure.
Yeah. So if you go back to the shot here and look, you could see beyond the ball fields, you're going to see townhomes over there as well. So again, if you're a first-time home buyer that's looking for a great place in Towson, I really think this is almost your first stop when looking for a place. Would you agree?
I agree. And one thing I forgot to mention, because it's not Christmas time, but if you come here at Christmas time, you're in for a real treat, because most of the streets now will decorate lights across the street from house to house, and it's like a winter wonderland. It rivals 34th Street downtown in Hamden.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I've mentioned 34th Street a couple times here on my video in Hamden, but I got to come back and check that out
in December.
Hey,
you can get there's a Starbucks right there, and
Right,
another
right.
place you can get a hot chocolate and walk through the streets. It's really great.
Good stuff. All right, we'll pick it back up here at our next stop.
All right, guys, we are here on York Road at the shops. Now, George, tell us a little bit about the shops. But before we walk too much, check this place out. The Charvery, George was filling me in, is, what is it? It's a homemade ice cream shop. It's an ice cream shop.
Jeff, it's an old school ice cream shop. Their first location was down in Hamden. They moved into this location about 3 or 4 years ago. And all these neighborhoods, Annesley, Rogers Forge, Stoneleigh, people will walk here and we'll see dozens of people out here, families having ice cream.
Cool. So I wanted to go in and get some ice cream, but it is 10 a.m. in the morning here. So some things that you have here in the shops. What do we got here? We got a barber shop, I see. You got this cool hardware store, some yoga studios. There was a general contractor at the next building. What else?
Duckpin, duckpin bowling.
So duckpin bowling, and you may or may not have duckpin. It's real popular here in the Baltimore area. It's just a single ball, no holes in it, and you knock down, what's it, like 12 pins or?
Still 10 pins. But
Still 10 pins.
they are smaller pins, smaller ball.
Right.
And it's great for kids, great for families. It's a lot of fun.
So here's the hardware store. Now this is not, anything in comparison to a Home Depot. It's apples and oranges. It's an old school family owned hardware store. And they'll do the unique repairs that you may need, like screen repair or what do I say? We got get your mower tuned up.
Class. Yeah, this is where you bring your mower to get ready for the cutting season. Now, they're really knowledgeable. They're great, and it's great to support things.
Yeah. Now, one thing to note here, you've got to pay for street parking. We just had to do that. No essential, like parking lot for the business, but nevertheless, here's the Annesley that we're coming up on now. I got a mattress store in here, fitness studio. Anything else? Bakery.
Balto's Bakery just moved in. I have not had the chance to try it yet, but people rave about the food. So.
All right, my friends, on to our next adventure here.
All right, everyone, we are at our last neighborhood that we're going to take a look at. Now, this is Wiltondale, and behind me, we've got the community swimming pool here. If you swing it over to this end, I just saw a diving board over there, and then just down this way, you've got a small playground. So, George, tell us a little bit about Wiltondale.
Wiltondale is very similar to Stoneleigh. Single family homes, great community. They don't have a school in the neighborhood, but the kids here utilize, for public school, they utilize Stoneleigh Elementary and Dunbarton, which we've already seen. As far as the pool, this is comparable to Stoneleigh, the Stoneleigh pool, the
Right.
Wiltondale Warriors.
Okay.
And you know, they love it here, but they do have a swim team that competes with Stoneleigh, so it's a battle.
Little rivalry here.
Yes,
So,
for sure.
well, let's take a look. We'll walk around and look at some of these homes and give you the details on those here. So a typical home here in Wiltondale is what, 3 to 5 bedrooms, 1,700, 2,400 square feet, and these are just recent sales that I pulled before coming on out here. And our price point, there's a big gap in the price point from, you know, the other places. It's a little tighter, but here, you know, something on the low end was 400,000, and then I saw a sale that recently happened in here that was $936,000. So is that typical, or what do you think?
Yeah, it is typical. Well, I think 900 is atypical.
Okay.
But what you see here, again, this is an older community. It's been here for
Right.
about 100 years, a little less. And so if a house has really not been renovated, you're going to be on that lower end. But if someone has renovated, added an
right.
addition, you might get 800,000-900,000 for it.
Okay.
And it is a wonderful community. It sort of dead ends back in here to the pool, so there's not a lot of through traffic. I mean, see how quiet it is. There's no cars out here,
Right.
so it just makes it a wonderful, safe place for kids.
And I think because it doesn't have a school in it too, you're going to see less traffic as well, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, some things I'm noticing here, little differences. A lot of these places have driveways in them, so people are actually pulling in the driveway beside their house, not behind their house, or on the side of it. So that's a difference that you'll see here. But again, real nice feel that I'm getting, you know, when coming through here. Now, let's flip the script. Okay. Now, you guys don't know, but George and I used to work together. We used to work together in the mortgage industry for many years over at a bank with, they have cowboys riding a stagecoach. So I'll let you figure that out on your own there. But nevertheless, George is still hitting it hard in the mortgage business. Tell us what's going on there right now.
Well, obviously, you know, it's 2023. We are in a higher rate environment where rates in the high 6s, low 7s, which is a far cry from where we were a year ago when we were in the 2s.
Right.
So that has slowed down activity for sure. However, because there's just not a lot of houses for sale, there's still this buying frenzy.
Right.
You know, I don't know about your business, but I've got quite a few people that are looking to buy a house,
Right.
can't find one.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's an interesting time, but I think the market is still very hot.
It is. Guys, I just put a house on the market today. This is a little townhouse in Harford County, and we've been sitting here doing this video, and I've had 15 showing requests come through. So the market is on fire right now here in the Baltimore metro area. What do you think? Tell people about that grant program that you were telling me about.
I will. Before I do that,
Yeah.
you know, the interest rate is not the only thing to consider. Because there is not nearly as much business as there used to be, underwriting criteria has changed. It's a little bit easier for people to qualify.
Right.
So there's a larger pool of people that now qualify to buy a house that wasn't there before. Government entities and businesses like ours are contributing money for grants. So the one you're talking about in Baltimore County, in Towson, right now, will give you $10,000 to help you buy a house. Grant, it's not a loan, and it's not a bond program. So it's pretty exciting.
So look, work with us. We're gonna put 10 grand in your hand to get a house here in Towson. But so that's a little bit about, you know, some of the houses. We're gonna take you around, look at some other places here in Towson. So guys, look, one thing that was on my mind here was we went around to a lot of the public schools here, but Towson is known for having some of the best private schools. Now, George and I, ironically, we went to rival high schools here in Towson. You know, I went to Calvert Hall, George went to Loyola. There's a few others, like for girls, there's NDP, which is Notre Dame Prep. What else is out there?
Maryville.
Maryville?
Towson.
Okay.
Gilman is technically in the city, but Gilman is not far from where we're standing, just a couple miles. They are generally all boys or all girls schools. There's a couple that are co-ed, but yeah, there's no lack of options when it comes to a great education here in Baltimore County, especially in and around Towson.
Yeah, and if that is on your mind, if private education for your son or daughter is on your mind, I really think it's beneficial for you to look to live in Towson, because I can remember commuting in from Calvert Hall, and ironically I had to take, like, my mom would put me on the bus and I'd have to take the public transit system to get here to school and go home and stuff, especially when I was at practice after school.
Right.
So just wanted to fill you in on that, because the private school system here in Baltimore County, I think is probably one of the best around, if not the best.
It might be the best in the country. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, there's so many options. I can't even tell you how many there are, but if we counted them, there's more than a dozen options right around Towson for high school. We haven't even talked about preschool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of preschool options. We walked past a couple of them just a few minutes ago and never pointed them out, but there's all different types of preschools available, and it's just, from an education standpoint, I don't think you could go wrong here in Towson.
So again, those of you that have families, going to be starting families, I mean, this is critical information you want to know. Obviously, do your own research. Don't trip there, bud. Go out to Baltimore County Public Schools website, check out the schools that we've talked about and any other schools here in Towson. Towson High is another spot that a lot of the students go to if you're not going to private school. And then look up the private schools and get your rankings. And we just want to give you our perspective on things and what we've seen as students, and George is a parent here in Baltimore County.
And Towson High School is actually on the other side of these trees where we are.
Oh, there you go.
Can't remember how many students are there, but it's a great public high school. Another option we had not yet spoken about.
All right. Well, we'll pick it up at our next stop here.
All right, look, we are right in the heart of Towson, right here at the Towson Circle.
Towson traffic circle.
All right, look at this, guys. It's friggin' nuts. So you've got traffic coming from Delaney Valley. York Road is over there. And then right here is Shopper Row. They all converge right here in one spot in Towson. So they're essentially starting or ending depending upon the way you're coming. Right here. Right here. Well, except York Road. York Road's going all the
So this is the dead center of Towson. You have the Towson Mall, right, the huge shopping center.
right.
Got office buildings here. And we'll see some restaurants just south of us.
Yeah, we'll take you all down that way.
But this is really the heart of Towson right here.
Yeah, and it's coming up on lunchtime, so we're probably going to see a lot of people sort of bopping around here and give you a real good feel of what downtown Towson looks like. But the big thing you got to know is the traffic. You got to know how to drive through this roundabout, because what you don't, you could be spinning in the center here for a few minutes. Big Bend, Carlton. Yeah, that's it. All right, we'll continue this on at our next stop.
So we're walking back down York Road here, and a couple things to note. You've got some great places to eat, like the Towson Tavern over this shoulder here. What's good at Towson Tavern?
Yeah, everything's good at the Towson Tavern.
Yeah.
They've got great food. Upscale menu. It's really great.
Good. Now, another thing to note, those of you that are music fans, and I've been in here once, but it's been years, but this is the Record Theater right over my shoulder. They bring bands in from all over the country, I've seen. They come and perform here. It's a nice venue to go in. When was the last time you were there?
It's been a minute.
Been a minute, huh?
But no, they have recently renovated the theater, and they do have great bands, great music there.
All right.
Great place to check out.
Good. Now, I want to show you guys another spot that used to be the highlight of Towson, and I don't think it is any longer, but it's right here at this intersection of Pennsylvania and York, which we're coming up on, and it's Towson Commons, which is right over this shoulder here. Now, this used to be the spot where you would go for the fancy movie theater. Now, it's since been replaced to the movie theater that we just passed. But what's in Towson Commons these days?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not exactly sure.
Here, let's go this way.
Everything that's in there, but I can tell you that they have axe throwing.
Axe throwing inside
axe
there?
Throwing inside.
There we go.
Basement. It's pretty cool.
So you got axe throwing, movies,
Lots of restaurants.
Lots of restaurants. Good place to grab, plenty of places to grab a bite to eat, but a place to see some live music. I mean, you can do it all here in Towson. And I said something about the movie theater. Look where we're up on. So right there's the new movie theater. It's like one of those IMAX theaters. And that's where the old one used to be. So I don't know, where do you feel like heading next?
Get something to eat.
All right, let's get something to eat.
All right, so we're grabbing a bite to eat here at Barleys Backyard. I got a salad. George got a bowl. Both food pretty good. In your figures, what do you think are some other good spots? Keep it and get a bite to eat at.
Towson Tavern's really good. It's clear. You like sushi hana?
Okay.
There's also a rotating sushi bar, and I think that's ringing out of it's stand-up.
There was the upscale places, so they're looking for
Like a really fine bite insert.
Right.
perennial, just at the top of the traffic circle. That's
If we're ready, never been there.
relatively near. Just go Cummings House.
Okay.
And like here from the offering.
Okay.
They renovated both places, upscale, and then the deal for it off parking, yeah, outlet.
It's down. Hit that up. I go into the melting pot, which is right up here. Did that. That's kind of cool. It's like a fondue restaurant. Dip everything in the cheese and the whatever. Chocolate, strawberries at the end. That's a lot of fun. And then the Stony River's still at the mall. That's a really good steakhouse. Kind of a chain. So very good. Anything else you could think of?
Yeah, a lot of what we talked about, individual restaurants or eateries at the best. But there's a lot of big chains that have rolled around recently.
Oh, yep.
Raven King, popped up about the whole,
Right.
which is very popular. It was mine out the door. And,
Right.
it's the Shade Shack at the Circle, which is pretty popular. Saw that. They were right up here. You check the layout. There's lots of things. And whatever you want. The nationwide chain, they'll treat and back to back. Bread with heels, or something. And the person like that.
Yeah, pretty much everything. Now, what other conveniences are close by? I know those of you that like healthy grocery stores, the cool part is here in Towson, you can go to a Whole Foods and you could go to a Trader Joe's. And in other parts of the county and city, that stuff's not available. You essentially always have to come to Towson, especially like Trader Joe's. If you walk and shop at Trader Joe's,
Right across the street from where we are is Whole Foods.
yeah, I saw that. He's coming in here.
Yeah, just north of the traffic circle, also as you walk from here, is the Fresh Market.
Okay.
Also at the middle.
Oh yeah, right. Super Bro.
And it's super fresh. The jam shows for eight.
Yeah.
It's all fresh. It's fresh.
Cool.
So there's also a ton of fitness centers.
Missouri up.
Just the anytime fitness. The YMCA is in Towson.
So lots of options to swing on.
Good. Yeah, and I'll probably, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you guys through Loch Reservoir on my way out of Towson here today. That's another spot that I reference all the time where you can go for a run. You can go ride your mountain bike. They have awesome trails. I used to go mountain biking back there all the time. And then,
Did they allow you to fish there? We're rapping.
they fish there. Yeah, so
He was supposed to have fishing times here. You can actually rent a little boat.
yeah, how canoes and stuff. Yeah, I saw that. So those are some good spots.
The cool thing about Towson is it is really centered at we're about 15 minutes. It's really easy to get on the 83 interstate and get the Baltimore City downbound. You're probably 7 minutes from the reservoir and 10 minutes for that until you're in Huntington. So it's really separately worth it and easy to do.
Yeah, and everything is here. That's, if you want convenience and you want to live in the county, the Towson's the spot. 5 places from Griffin. Cool. Good stuff. All right, well, guys, look, that's a little bit of Towson. George, I want to say thank you to you for essentially being our tour guide. We appreciate it. Now, you're a mortgage guy.
I am.
And you can help all of these people out that are watching this video with their mortgage needs. What's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Thank you, Adam. This was fun. 2 ways. You can call me on my cell phone directly. That number is 410-804-4325. Or you can email me at gkennedy@uhm.com.
Awesome. Now, as I always say, guys, look, if a move to Maryland is in your future, whether it's now, 7 months from now, 7 years from now, I don't know, whatever it may be, look, my team and I, hey, we are ready to help you out in your transition here to Maryland, but we just need one thing from you, and that's for you to reach out and connect with us. So please give us a call, shoot us a text message, send us an email, whatever you need to do. My team and I, we've got your back. From Baltimore down the bay to the beaches in Ocean City, we have you covered. Now, before you go, make sure you check out this next video right here. It's one I personally picked out myself for you. I'm sure you're going to learn a bit more about Maryland. And until the next video, my friends, we'll catch you later.